But I'm curious, you talk to a lot of our customers and a lot of the people who have joined us. What has surprised you with Resolve?
Yeah, so I'd say first, when we first met and you described the problem to me and sort of the next era of this space being agentic, it really resonated. But candidly, like, I've been surprised by how quickly customers have taken to kind of our view of the world. And when I sit back and just think about AI more broadly, there are, on the application layer, two sets of use cases going on. There's vertical use cases, like the legal use cases, healthcare use cases, et cetera. On the horizontal side, I would actually argue that what you're building at Resolve has become one of the 2 or 3 ubiquitous use cases for AI. Perhaps others would be things like enterprise search and customer support. But AI SRE and then more broadly AI production engineering, it's gone ubiquitous. It reminds me of the early days of companies that we were involved with, like Wiz or Figma, where it just became very clear everyone in the world needed this. And so I'm just surprised every time I come into a go-to-market meeting and you show me the pipeline. It's both leading tech companies, but also large enterprises. The second thing is the proof I've seen in the pudding is the amount customers are willing to spend on a product like Resolve. Our price points, even for a very early company, are much higher than let's say, the code generation tools. And to me, it speaks to the proof that what we're doing is actually able to replace work. And importantly, this is not work people want to do. This is high toil, high stress work that takes developers away from the creative and kind of engineering and architecture work they want to do. And then I think the third thing is just the quality of team you've been able to build. If people went and looked at the engineers and AI researchers and research engineers we have at Resolve, the only other companies that have people of this caliber are probably the large labs like OpenAI and Anthropic. And I think people get excited about the depth of technical problems we're solving combined with the commercial value what we're doing has. And in many ways, I think we are one of the only companies that's building something very commercially valuable and also very durable, because there's a lot of engineering around the model to actually make these things work, make our agents work reliably. And then probably the last thing I would say is, I remember when you and I were talking back in February and March of 2024, you had such clarity that SRE was the insertion point, but over time, we would do a lot more. And the way you always articulate to me is there's development and then there's production, and everything in production Resolve can own and accelerate. I'm thinking of a Slack screenshot you sent me earlier this week from one of our customers, where a bunch of engineers were using Resolve for the vibe debugging workflow you described. And I think it speaks to the power of when you have all of the production context and you combine that with the source code information. But I'll be honest, that expansion has happened much faster than I thought.
Happened much faster than I thought as well.